Passport DC is what we're going to be talking about today on this channel. And it is a huge event in Washington, DC. Literally thousands of people from within Washington and around the world descend upon Washington in order to participate in this event. And this is a one-of-a-kind event because it only can happen here in Washington, DC, which has about 177 embassies. Many of them participate in this, but a few don't. Now, the reality is it's a big deal, a big event. So the question is, what exactly is it, and how can you make the most of your time if you ever happen to be in the area or want to make a specific trip down here? What can you expect? How are you going to get around? What embassies should you visit? Because there are some that really go all out and others that really don't put a lot of effort forward. So without further ado, let's go take a look at Passport DC. There are probably more embassies in Washington, D.C. than anywhere else in the world. However, not every single one of these embassies are going to participate in Passport DC. The best way to find out which embassies do and which don't is to go to the website. The website will let you know what embassies are going to take part. So then you can kind of make a map and figure out what's your best course of attack. This right here is a fake passport. It's from Passport DC. You can pick it up usually at a metro station close to the embassies, and you can go to the different embassies and they will stamp it. It's a great way to get kids involved. One of the things I like about Passport DC is all the food and stuff that you can get for absolutely free. And this right here is alcohol, and it's from Belize. Belize is a tiny island, but they serve out gallons upon gallons of alcohol because they want Americans to come to Belize. They want to make a splash for that country. Now, not everything is free. There's some that are for sale. So if you take a sample of a few and you like it, then you can, buy as much as you like. Now, the downside to all this stuff is that if you come here early, you can get a lot of stuff because their tables are going to be full. However, they don't have unlimited supply of food and free stuff to give out. So when it's done, it's over with. So my best advice to you is to get there early. If you arrive, say after 12 o'clock, you're going to start seeing lines. By 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, pretty much most everything that they gave away for free is absolutely finished. And here you're looking at one of the smaller embassies, and they are giving away mass loads of food. But again, you have to get there early in order to take full advantage of all the free stuff, not just food, but swag that you can get by visiting Passport DC embassies. Now, for those of you who are familiar with my channel, you know that I give you the facts about your travel experiences, and I don't take compensation from anyone. So if you want to look for and find fun and interesting things to do in the DC metropolitan area, don't look any further than my channel. Let's go see it. Now, we talked in the last segment about all the free food that they gave away, food, alcohol, and swag. But now let's talk about entertainment. There are lots of embassies in DC, and most of them had some degree of entertainment. And usually it's some kind of musical performance. This right here is the China embassy, and they go all out, not just in performances, but they have you go in and tour the embassy, and they give you lots of food. So China is the embassy to go to. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but there are lots of different embassies that do a lot when it comes to entertainment. They want to get you involved. They want to help you to understand and learn about their culture. So it's great for families and kids. There were lots of kids around when I was there, and everyone was having a good time. Now, the downside about the entertainment part of Passport DC is that it's near impossible to plan. When you go somewhere, you don't know if they're going to have food sometimes. You don't know if there's going to be entertainment. You don't know what to expect. So it's sort of, well, not sort of, it is luck of the draw. So you go somewhere, you're going to get some entertainment, maybe some food, maybe, but there's no way to plan ahead of time that there's going to be this concert, this band, this particular performance at this time. So that's the downside for those of you who like to plan things out every step of the way. Going into an embassy is something that is usually never allowed. These places have generally high security. However, Passport DC, you get a chance to go inside the embassies, to walk around. They're usually going to have things on display that show off their country and their nation. They're usually going to have outfits and stuff that you can read to learn about the nation and the culture, which is really great. Now, the downside is that there's not going to be necessarily a lot of people who are going to be there to help you, talk you through it. You know, you're just going to have to read and make the most of what they have. Some embassies do a great job of helping explain to you what you're looking at, while others, they can barely communicate to you in English. Okay, now here's my tip for you in order to make the most use of your time. Go to the big embassies. The two big ones are going to be China and Britain. Now we're going to take a look right now in the Chinese embassy, because they, of all the embassies that participate in Passport DC, they go all out 110%. They allow you to go inside the embassy, and the embassy is absolutely huge. Now they do a lot of stuff like propaganda, tell you about things that are going on in China and how the country's growing and developing and all that kind of stuff. So you know, you got to be mindful of that. However, it really goes all out. The embassy is huge. You get a chance to walk all around. There are things that are interactive, things that are on display. There are people there to help you to write things. They give away free gifts, and they have great performances, and they have a mass load of food. So the one embassy that I would say definitely make a part of your travel list is going to be China. If you're thinking about bringing the kids, absolutely do so. They're gonna love doing the little passports and getting it stamped. There's lots of little things that they give out to kids, and some embassies have kids that participate with the whole entire production. So definitely bring kids. They wanna get kids, you know, excited about their country and going there and understanding their language and their culture and how they do things. So definitely bring the kids. Now, the downside of Passport DC, and this is the biggest downside and it cannot be helped, is you're going to have to rely on the Shoe Leather Express. That means your feet are going to carry you from embassy to embassy. If you're thinking about driving, that is a lost cause. Do not drive your car. Be prepared not only to walk, but also to wait in very long lines. If you arrive here at around, say, 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon, is going to be absolutely packed. That is going to be a huge mistake. Now, what about Uber to get from point A to point B? Again, I don't think that's going to be your best course of action. It can work, but it's going to be an expensive option. Your best bet is to ride a bicycle. Ride a bicycle on the metro and then use a bike to commute back and forth. As you can see, there's lots of traffic. There's not a lot of places to park, but a bike is going to be probably your best bet. But no matter what you do, you're going to rely on the Shoe Leather Express. That means you're going to have to walk to get from point A to point B. Sometimes if you go to Embassy Road, all the embassies are right there. However, Embassy Row is where all the crowds go. So it's absolutely jam-packed. Another great thing about Passport DC is that some of the smaller embassies in particular, they have the ambassadors right there so you can talk to them, ask them questions about their country, their nature, and their culture. So to recap, Passport DC is a great family-friendly activity. The only big problem is you're gonna do a whole lot of walking. Also, if you're gonna come, make sure you come early. You come towards the end of the day, you're gonna wait in long lines, there's not gonna be any food, and you're not gonna get a chance to see a whole lot. There's gonna be lots of food for you to buy, as well as food that are given to you for free. So come with an open mind and an appetite.